John Duthie é o fundador do PokerStars European Poker Tour e está em Vila Moura para participar neste evento no nosso cantinho. Vamos falar um bocadinho com ele e saber o que está a pensar de Vila Moura. John, first of all, welcome to Portugal. Are you enjoying Portugal?
Yeah, I love Portugal. I've been here before.
On vacation?
No, I worked here on a film must be about 15 years ago, called The House of the Spirits in Lisbon. We worked in Lisbon and Cercal.
I read that you used to work on TV and production of movies. Does that help you in any way in poker?
No, not really. I think, sometimes it used to help televised tables when players were unfamiliar with TV, because I felt very comfortable in that environment. But now most players have played TV tables.
You're in Portugal playing the EPT. How's that going for you so far?
It's going great. I mean, the weather's beautiful, but aside from that, I had a good first day. I ended up with about just under 60,000 in chips, which is fine. And the players are good fun, and the whole environment is a very good place to play.
And we have a golf event. I think that you enjoy golf too. Are you looking forward to it?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm not a particularly good golfer, but it should be fun, I think. I think there are a number of younger players and older players who play golf and play poker. So I think it's a very good idea that we've come up with here, and I think that and hopefully a lot of people will embrace it and give it a shot.
You have the Snowfest now with golf event. Do you think that the EPTs should now mix poker with other sports?
I think there's a limit really. I think that so I think sports like, say, skiing and golf are obviously very good, but there aren't really that many other sports which attract such a wide number of participants. So I think it's unlikely that we'll mix with other sports. I can't see us doing a sort of windsurfing. I think golf and skiing is probably it.
Poker is recent in Portugal, but we always wanted to have an EPT, and I think we also tried in the first seasons, but we only achieved that on the sixth season. What were we missing?
I don't think anything was missing. I think that the issues. I personally wanted to come here a long time ago. I think the issues were that predominantly the sponsor, PokerStars, they didn't feel that at the time when the EPT first started that Portugal was a sort of. I think it was to do with commercial reasons, a lot to do with the internet, the reach of internet to other people, and the market itself. I think that what's happening now, I think that there's a possibility that the market here can really grow and probably and be very big, and so PokerStars obviously looked into that. Because nothing in reality has changed in Portugal. The venues are still the same, and the infrastructure is still the same. But sometimes you have to persuade a large number of people to be able to, whenever we choose a new event, there's a committee and we all discuss it. And there are so many choices, because we don't want to have too many events. We don't really want to have more than 12 a season, because I think if you have more than 12, you start to... It looks a little bit greedy, it looks like you're trying to make too much money, and I think it's far better that you have between 10 and 12 very good events, rather than say 17 events all over Europe, which aren't really, we just choose because we want to make money.
You have an excellent curriculum. You were second on the 10K event, heads up on the World Series, 1 million on a TV show. How do you feel as a poker player right now?
As a player, I feel good because I've sort of been relegated to chairman of the EPT. It means that I have very little managerial role any longer, and so I can play in events. So this is actually, strangely enough, this is the very first EPT event I've played in. So and for me, it's great that it's in Portugal, because I love the country. So I'm looking forward to this year and continuing. I've done pretty well this year so far, playing again. My game's good. I feel very confident about it. I've learnt a lot from all the younger internet kids coming up, who have a completely different style of play from the old time players when I first started. and there's a lot to learn in this game. You know, it changes. It's in a constant state of flux because players are constantly looking for ways to, you know, defend against 3-bets or to, you know, or to float flops, and you know, they're constantly looking at ways to develop their games. And I think that's what makes it fascinating, is that you can improve your game even when you're slightly long in the tooth, like I am.
Just about Portugal doesn't have a legislation for poker, but some markets in Europe are closing, just like France, just French players. Do you think that's the way that Europe is going to take?
I don't know. It's very difficult to predict legislation, but I think it's probably not a bad idea. I think that it's far better that poker is recognised as a sport and catered for separately from other forms of online gaming, because predominantly it's a game of skill, and I think it has to be dealt with separately. I think that the French and Italian model seems to be quite successful. And also, obviously, it's creating revenue for their own countries. Therefore, it's probably quite popular within the sort of the revenue. Well, whoever looks after the revenue in each country. I think as a model, it'll probably work well. Whether or not, I'm not sure that I agree to excluding other players. I think there has to be a way that you can actually still you can license a site within a country, and yet still somehow tax it. I don't know. I'm not clever enough to be able to work out the model, but there must be a way of doing it, because the whole idea about the European community is that there's freedom of trade, and you should be able to play wherever you like. I think it's a good step forward. I think France and Italy. They're looking like very strong markets at the moment, and hopefully, and it'll change, I'm sure, over the years to come.
Just to finish, where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Where do I see myself in 10 years? It's a very good question. I've got no idea.
Okay, so thank you so much for this interview, and I hope you ran really good today and in the tournament.
Thank you very much.
Foi a entrevista com o fundador do European Poker Tour, que vai estar no live report do PokerPT.com.